that a CBP officer would normally encounter at a seaport, airport, or a land port. Okay. And your task is going to be to go ahead and respond accordingly to that particular scenario. Common sense is what we want. Does this person have the common sense to respond accordingly to that particular scenario? Maybe a threat scenario, maybe a scenario where you have somebody that's very aggressive, somebody that's hurt, etc. And you want to know how would you respond to something like that. Okay? After you do the scenarios, then that tape gets sent to the video-based raters and a group of people who are trained in rating these videos will look at your responses and make a determination whether you have responded accordingly and you qualify for the position. You have to treat it as you're there. When you get to that DBT, you have to treat it like what's happening on the TV is actually happening in real life. But if you don't treat it like real life, if you just say, hey, you stop. All right? There's somebody there pointing a gun at you, all right? Then, you have to treat it like it's actually happening to you. So, there's a hint to you when you get to that DBT, right? If you're successful with the DBT, then you're going to have the medical, the physical, and the background investigation. The medical encounters a vision, a hearing, and the cardio as well. Cardio, right? The step, okay? It requires a step. The step is they'll go ahead and put in a little wire thing that gets stuck to your chest, and you'll have to do some like cadence, and you have to keep up that rhythm, okay? And you have to maintain it for X amount of time in order for you to go ahead and see you are somewhat physically fit for the position. Now, for the physical, what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, is you're going to get called in to a medical facility. And part one of the physical is that you're going to have a 50-pound basket on a table. And what you are to do is you are to get this basket, pick it up, bring it to the floor, bring it back up, put it back on the table, repetitively. And you'll be doing this for X amount of time. Okay? And you have to be maintaining that picking up, putting down, picking up, putting down. Okay? That's number one. Number two is the kneeling test. What they want you to do, ladies and gentlemen, is that they want you to go ahead and be able to kneel and get back up, kneel with the other leg and get back up repetitively without you having to utilize your upper torso where you're like using your arms and your hands to pick yourself up. Okay? They want you to just be able to do that on your own without any assistance from your upper torso. Okay? That's number two. And then number three was the one that I was talking to you about, is the step. They will have you do that step. Step, 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 step. It's a rhythm type of stepping. Kind of like when you, for those of you that exercise and do those cardio workouts on the steps, that's exactly what it is. Okay? One thing you have to keep in mind on those step things. Please, listen to me very carefully. Follow the directions. There's going to be a recorder when you're doing that stepping exam. Follow the recorder to a T. Listen to it. Concentrate. If it says left, right, go left, right, left, right. If it says go right, left, go right, left, left. But don't lose the rhythm. People have been disqualified because they didn't follow the directions as far as going left, right, left. I don't know exactly how it is that they do it, but they have failed because they do not follow the directions. So keep that in mind. Okay? Any questions on that? That's your physical. Okay? If you're successful with passing the physical and the medical, then the next one is the background investigation. In that background investigation, what we're trying to find out, or what the background investigators are trying to find out is, what type of life have you had in the past? And in your past, have you been involved in any type of criminal activity whatsoever? Okay? We want to know who have you been affiliated with, and we want to know basically what have you done. Now, I mentioned earlier, anything where you have been the aggressor of domestic violence, because this position requires you to carry a firearm, you will most likely be disqualified for the position. Number two, if you've ever been involved in any type of narcotic smuggling, okay, you've been arrested at the port for narcotic smuggling, your chances are minimal. No, I'm not saying don't apply, but I'm saying you're lessening your chances of being selected. Okay? Just really keep that in mind. A lot of people have contacted me saying, okay, you know what, my brother, my dad, my mother, etc., they have been arrested for narcotic smuggling. They have been arrested for usage of narcotics. That doesn't necessarily mean you won't qualify. What you want to know is, have in any form or way were you affiliated, were you involved, what involvement did you have with your, let's say, as an example, your mother's or your father's or your brother's narcotic usage? Okay? If you had nothing to do with that, if you weren't a participant of that, you'll be fine. But do not lie in your background. No matter how bad you may have done something in the past, how embarrassing, how idiotic it may have been, disclose everything to that background investigator. If you use marijuana at one time, say, you know what, I used marijuana at one time, but I don't do it anymore. I don't use it anymore. If you were arrested for 2 DUIs in your lifetime, mention those things, that you were arrested for 2 DUIs in your lifetime. But don't disclose anything that's going to affect you later on. Because if the investigator finds out, wait a minute, he or she never told me that she was arrested for narcotic usage back in 1997, you will automatically be disqualified. Okay? Disclose everything, no matter how bad it is. It will be just you and the investigator, and that's it. Nobody else needs to know about that. Okay? So be truthful. There was a gentleman who didn't disclose about domestic violence, but he wasn't the one actually that started it. His wife did him. And he was embarrassed to say that. And he didn't mention it. Okay? Granted, it got cleared, but no matter how bad it is, how embarrassing it may be, disclose it. Okay? Any questions on that? Are we clear? Good. Let's move on. What about your thoughts? Okay, the other thing. Once you go through the medical, physical background, okay, then you will get a tentative selection offer. When you get that tentative selection offer, don't quit your jobs, please. Do not, listen to me very carefully, do not quit your jobs. I've had people that got in the tentative selection for employment, and they go and burn their bridges with their current employer. They go to the academy and they fail, and they come back and they have to request their job back. That's a pretty bad position to be in. Okay? Once you get that tentative selection letter, do not quit your jobs. That means that you are being offered employment with Customs and Border Protection, Department of Homeland Security, contingent upon successful completion of the 15 weeks at the academy in Glencoe, Georgia. You still have to go to the academy and successfully pass the academy. Okay? You get that letter, you will get a date, a time and a date to show up to the port of entry. You show up to the port of entry, and you're going to start what we call our pre-academy training. Pre-academy training basically is getting you familiar with the material and the information that you're going to be looking at Glencoe, in Glencoe, Georgia, at the academy. So that you're not that, when you get over there, that you'll be more, okay, I know what's going on, and I remember that.